So preventable. And, you know, it's bad enough that Donald Trump lost part of his ear. But the really horrific thing is Corey Comprator and losing his life and being taken from his family so senselessly. It didn't have to happen. There's no reason for it. The guy was spotted, I don't know how many times. Nobody knows how many times, but it was several. It was up to an hour or so before the event. Spotted with the rangefinder, the laser rangefinder. Spotted later on, spotted with the rifle in his hand. You don't even ask the guy questions?
It wasn't too hot on the roof for him, I'd like to point out.
No, right. Yeah, he somehow survived it. Wow. Incredible. And, you know, when you don't even secure the ladder that leads to the roof, that's the least you could have done. Just post somebody there. Not tough. It's really not tough. But it apparently was for her, and Ro Khanna had some words for her as well.
Now, Director Cheatle, would you agree that this is the most serious security lapse since President Reagan was shot in 1981 of the Secret Service?
Yes, sir, I would.
And, you know, do you know what Stuart Knight did when he was in charge at the time of the Secret Service? Do you know what he did afterwards?
He remained on duty.
He resigned. And Stuart Knight was not a Democratic appointee or a Republican appointee. Look, I'm not questioning your judgment. I just don't think this is partisan. If you have an assassination attempt on a president, a former president, or a candidate, you need to resign. That's what Stuart Knight did. He was a Republican appointee, and he took responsibility. And I think you need to reflect. This is not a question of you. It's a question of the American people. You cannot go leading a Secret Service agency when there is an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate.
Yeah. Yep. It's not hard. You need to go away. You know, go back to guarding Doritos. That's all you have to do. It's not a tough decision. It's not like this is the only gig she can ever have, she can ever get. Just, you don't need to be doing this. And it's inconceivable that she hasn't been fired already. If she won't step down, fire her.
And who would do that? The president?
Yeah.
So who's the president?
Barack Obama needs to call her and say, get out. Puddin', get out.
Get out.
So, Barack, do it. Give her a call. And
he's got other things.
When she picks up, just say, hey, pumpkin, get out. Okay? You're done. You're done here. All right? I mean, it's been cute. It's been really nice. We gave this a shot, but you really didn't work out. So, hasta la vista, baby. Virginia Fox also had some words with Kimberly Cheatle.
But you think you are the best person in the country to head the Secret Service?
I think that I am the best person to lead the Secret Service at this time.
There you go. So now we're done.
Okay, all right. Well, then.
She thinks she is, so we're done.
She put me in my place, didn't she? Mm-hmm. Well, the president can't call her now and tell her because she's the best person for the job at this time.
Yeah, that kind of messes up what you just requested before.
It does.
Huh?
It does. It completely changes everything now. Oh, I didn't realize you were the right person for this job at this time. If it was 1860 or, say, 1864 and you're guarding Abraham Lincoln, maybe that's not the proper time for you, but it's not that time, right? We just had a presidential candidate get his ear shot off. I wouldn't worry about that. You're the perfect person for the gig right now.
It was only his ear. That's what
just his
she's
ear.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If it was someone else, who would have been dead.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I mean, seriously, she did her job so poorly that it was just the grace of God that allows Donald Trump to continue to walk the earth. Corey Comprator doesn't have that. He doesn't have that right now. So it's really sad. And it's despicable that she just sits there and looks us in the eye. It's I am not here. I am the best person in the nation for this job at this time. How can you even make that claim? Pretty amazing. Lauren Boebert, of course, had some things to say as well.
Do you continue to assert the slope of the roof as a credible reason for leaving this position undefended?
First, I'll go back and correct that there was no order to hold fire. Our agents and officers have the ability to neutralize a threat at the time
So you
that
don't
they
know,
see it.
I'm sorry, you don't know the communication that was taking place or how long he had him in his sights because you haven't spoke to him, but you do know that there was no order to hold fire.
I can tell you the way that our personnel are trained. They are trained on the use of force scale, that when they see a threat, they are authorized to neutralize that threat. They don't have to ask for permission.
You excuse the roof being unmanned because of the slope. Do you stand by that assertion?
The roof was not covered with an individual on it because there was overwatch provided.
Apparently not. No, there was no overwatch provided. This is very evident. President Trump was shot. A man died. There was no oversight provided. I find this rather maddening, especially now knowing that you do have answers from the FBI, who you have been passing the buck to this entire hearing, not answering a congressional hearing, members of Congress, while you are under oath and under a subpoena. I find it maddening that the director, that our country has come centimeters away from oblivion under your watch. You have answers. You are refusing to give those to us, directing us to the FBI, and this entire thing is a waste of time. You are responsible for the loss of a life and the shooting that took place on President Trump. You do need to resign. This is bipartisan. You need to be fired. You do not need to hold this position. You are not the best for this job.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, and she was talking about how Director Cheatle constantly passed the buck to the FBI during that hearing, and that's a fact. I don't know if y'all have heard this, but speaking of the FBI, Mario Nawfal, he posted yesterday via Gateway Pundit, cell phone data, buckle up. Cell phone data shows frequent visitor to Crooks and FBI building. Mobile ad data analysis by the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project revealed that someone who regularly visited Thomas Crook's Pennsylvania home also visited a building in D.C. near an FBI office. The analysis identified 9 devices linked to Crook's home and work. These findings suggest Crooks did not act alone in the assassination attempt on Trump.
Yeah, Steve Baker will have much more on that on Friday.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, she keeps talking about the slope. Here's the roof. Representative Eli went to the actual roof, and this is what she shot. You can play it, Joe. And that's the roof with a perfect view of the president.
Holy cow.
That's where he stood.
Oh, yeah, that was the one that Fallon said. I think it was Fallon, right? Or maybe it was Andy Biggs, who was like, that's an ADA compliant roof. In other words, it's not even sloped enough to prohibit wheelchair
access. As you can see, she was in a room that you could see straight into the president.
Sloped roof.
Incredible.
And did I also see...
But it was hot. You can't take the heat element away.
Yes.
It was hot up there.
Well, I don't know, maybe stand where the representative was standing with this sharpshooter, because she was right there in front of the building, inside of a building.
Pause it.
She's inside of a building right there. Pause it. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on.
Look at that.
I think you just said what I was about to say. Is that the window where a good guy was stationed?
Yes.
Who, oh dear Lord, and could have been looking right at Trump the entire time.
Yes.
And obviously seen Crooks in his sights.
Yes.
I cannot with this government.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I cannot.
Okay, it was too hot, but you could have just posted yourself inside that room.
Look, bro, we'll give you air conditioning. Just train your sights right here. I cannot.
You could put a blanket down.
You could put a blanket down.
You ever been to the beach with hot sand?
You could put an umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, this is enraging. This is the government has gone far beyond incompetence of every level. Now it's just dangerous for everyone, right up to the former president and likely future president of the United States. I mean, this is madness, man.
And we also have, this is clip 24.
How is this not
Representative Carlos walking on the rooftop.
Oh, let's see that.
I'm standing in approximately the site where the shooter was. As you can see, I'm a 70-year-old man, and this roof is not a big deal. So for somebody to tell me that Secret Service agents couldn't been here,
gosh,
it's worse for them.
So you can see that.
Yeah, but it's slow.
You've got a clear line
Wow.
to the president.
Wow.
And by the way, Director Cheetos hasn't been to the site at all.
Yeah, that's right. We learned that yesterday. She hasn't even gone there.
She hasn't gone there.
I swear. I mean, it just
Pretty crazy.
If you're gonna do an inside job, at least make it look like it wasn't.